Okay, Memory of Chaos for version 3.7. This one is called Monkey Business, which the word monkey just makes me laugh. We're going to take a look at the buffs, the bosses, some teams, and then do a little demo, and we'll get through it. Get through clearing this Memory of Chaos. So we'll start with the buffs. When an ally target attacks an elite or boss enemy with a corresponding type weakness, add 1 hits per action to Memory Turbulence. Breaking an elite or boss enemy's weakness adds an additional 1 hits per action, stacking up to 10 times. And at the start of each cycle, you get an instance of true damage for each of your stacks up to 10 hits. It actually can do a substantial amount of damage, so it is nice to play along with this buff. I will say, if you read it, you might immediately think this is for break teams, and not really. It's really more about having the right element matchup, and you're just going to break stuff anyway. Now, if you want to play Ruan Mei and increase your break efficiency, or if you have E1 Fugue, or hey, if you, by the time this comes out, this will still be running when Dahlia comes out. She's also break efficiency. That'll help you, but actually doing break damage does not give you any benefit. So the main thing is playing the right elements so that you match up with the boss, or playing a character that implants like Finon or Firefly or a lot of other characters. So like I said, that actually does get some pretty substantial amount of damage, even though in Memory of Chaos you don't want to be going too many cycles, so your mileage may vary on that. If we take a look at the bosses, we've actually got some nasty fights here. 2 bosses I'm not a big fan of, especially Sam. And each fight has a wave of like AoE enemies, and then the main boss is kind of single target, which is also kind of diabolical. So it's, you might pick an AoE team and then be bad in the second half, or you might pick a single target team and be bad in the first half. So it's a little tricky. But for the first half, we do have, in Wave 1, we've got the Abundance Lady, who reduces your health, your max health. And I don't know what this thing is supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be like a seahorse or something. I don't know. Comment what it is. But it's related to the Stingrays from Amphoreus and the whole Hycelin's arc. And it has similar mechanics where you attack it and it gives it extra advance. But for some reason, I find this horse thing less annoying. Not a whole lot to worry about strategically in the first half. Just blast your way through it as quick as you can. The second half is the annoying part. That's the Sam fight. I really hate the Sam fight because Sam, when the battle starts, cannot take any toughness reduction. All of his, or her, let's say all of their element weaknesses are locked until they take like 2 turns, and then once they're unlocked, you can get into the mechanics. The mechanics, the ones that you got to worry about is the Molten Engine part here. So all of your skill points will be glow orange when Sam is in their mode, and when you use a skill point, it will do damage to your character. But if it's a skill attack that does damage to Sam, it'll count down a counter, and after 5 skill points, Sam will exit that mode and take more damage. So in theory, you would want to play a character that does a lot of skill attacks, which is not as many as you might think, because if it's a character that has memo sprites, for example, like they're probably draining their HP, like Casterus or Evernight, and it doesn't even count as them using the skill point if it's like Hyacine, so that doesn't really help you there. Even in Anaxa, your first skill point will count, but all of his like follow-up attack things don't count, so that's not as good as you might think either. The best character for those mechanics is going to be Archer. And I thought about playing Archer for the demo, but I hate playing Archer, so I'm not going to do it. But I've seen a lot of people have some success with him, and everybody has Archer, so he might be a good team for your first half. And he's kind of the best to play around with that Sam mechanic. Now for the second half, we've got our old buddy Hoolay, who I think shows up in every single endgame mode every single time for the past year, but he's here again. We've also got the sun guy. I can't remember his name, but yeah, there's not a lot of mechanically. He's a beast. Don't get me wrong. He does a lot of damage, does a lot of HP. There's not a ton of mechanically to worry about. Basically, when you get marked, you'll if you can kill one of the small guys before the mark, you get attacked. The mark will go away. Effectively, if you just keep blasting everything, you'll be fine. So not much mechanically to worry about on that. Kind of the same with Hoolay, where there's not really much mechanically to worry about. He is somebody where like a bounce or blast attack is going to be helpful because there's usually only, him or like one other wolf guy on the screen. But his mechanics, we see Hoolay all the time, but it's basically you attack him, he attacks you, and that's kind of it. This is just the regular Hoolay. This isn't the weird one where you like turn into a wolf or anything. So let's do the demo then. So for your best options, it's always Casters and Fine On. I zero cycled it with Casters and Fine On. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to save that for my zero cycle videos that I usually put up, which you can check out on my channel YouTube at Gels Game Clips. But for today, I'm going to do something a little more fun. Obviously not as good results, but we're going to try to play Aglaea since she's going to be rerunning soon, and I'm going to try Anaxa on the second half because the Anaxa team is very fun. And hey, Cyrene's still on the banner, right? So let's see how we do.
In tight confines, a clash of wills.
So I have E1 Aglaea, which is the single most important thing you can do if you ever want to play Aglaea, is get her E1 to deal with her energy problems. Having Sunday and Huohuo also help a lot. Cyrene also helps a lot with the energy problems if you don't have Robin or Sunday. But her E1 is kind of the easiest way to deal with her energy problems. And by energy problems, I mean if you're not familiar with Aglaea, her ultimate action advances her, and it gives her enhanced basic attack. So if you can keep your energy up, you can stay in her ultimate mode permanently and just constantly action advance yourself and just stay in your enhanced basic. Now that is hard to do because she has a very high energy cost, and that's why you want her E1, which gives you a boatload of energy. Okay, and that's why we also have Huohuo and Sunday on the team. Okay, so I'm going to save her ultimate because Sunday's going to action advance. I'll get the attack in, and then I'm going to action advance her again with the ultimate. Now my speed on this team is a little wonky, where sometimes my Sunday can get out of sync, and you never want your Sunday having his turn like right before Aglaea, but I've been too lazy to adjust my speed on that. I'll show you when it comes up. It's coming up on Sunday's next turn, what I'm talking about. Alright, so we need to heal. Okay, so you can see right now, Aglaea is right after Sunday, which means I'm not getting any benefit from his action advance. I guess I am getting a turn in before the cycle ends, but that's not going to matter anyway because I'm not going to kill these guys before or in this final turn. So yeah, if I actually speed tuned Aglaea properly with Sunday, I'd probably get much better results with this team, but we'll be fine. Okay, is that thing a seahorse? Am I crazy?
Is that clear, I said?
Please tell me in the comments.
So fragile, like a wisp of silk.
Okay, so this is the part that sucks. I hate this fight, but I am gonna keep. I'm not gonna wait until Sam takes their second turn and unlocks because that's gonna be too long. So I'm just gonna keep chipping away whatever damage I can for now. And as much as I explained the mechanics of how Sam works, this is a terrible team for the mechanics. Because none of these characters do skill attacks. Keep in mind, Aglaea's main damage is actually basic attacks. It's her enhanced attack. It's not her Memo Sprite. It's not Garment Maker. Okay, so I held Robin's ult, so I'm gonna get 3 attacks now with Aglaea. So that was the first one, and I'm gonna use her ult. And that's her second one. And then I'm gonna advance everybody. And it's not, unfortunately, Aglaea's turn. And you can see I've got Sunday out of sync again with Aglaea, unfortunately. I do need to fix that. Alright. Okay, so Firefly. Sam's gonna make their second attack there, and now you can see their weakness bar is exposed. And you can see the counter under Sam's life bar. That's what will count down if you do skill attacks. And it has to be skill attacks that do damage. And it has to be the character doing damage. So again, somebody like Hyacine doesn't count. Because Hyacine's skill heals, and then Little Ika comes out and does the damage after. So these are all important distinctions. And whether you use skill points or not doesn't matter. This is where it gets tricky with Huohuo, because Garment Maker takes up a spot. I think I really prefer to heal Sunday and Robin, though. Okay. But the counter's not going to go down at all, because none of these are skill attacks. So I am playing against type here, but we're having fun. Okay. So I think if I skill, that should be enough. You might have noticed I've been holding on to Huohuo and Sunday's ults because I want to get maximum energy. Okay, so I think what's going to happen here is Aglaea's going to attack. That's going to activate both her and Robin's ultimate. And then I'm going to ultimate with Aglaea. Okay, so that should be both of them, right? Then I'm going to ultimate with Aglaea to advance her turn and open up her energy now that her energy's empty. So then I'm going to use Sunday's ult because I'm not wasting energy anymore. And then I'm going to attack with Aglaea. And then I'm going to use Robin's ult to advance everybody. And now that everybody has space for the energy, I'm going to use Huohuo's ult. And that way we've wasted no energy. Isn't that exciting? Man, I'm really missing out on the Sunday turns. Alright, you can see we got a pretty nice chunk of damage from the turn changing. Okay, we're gonna attack. Whose turn is it? Aglaea's? How many turns does Aglaea get? Yes. Okay. Alright, actually Huohuo needs a little bit of healing too. Oh, unfortunately, Sam got back to their form where I can't reduce their toughness anymore.
like a wisp of silk. Night. Stars echo.
So it's looking like this is probably going to be a 4-turn, unfortunately. I can't thank you enough. Okay. I think it's mostly because my Sunday speed is all messed up. But yeah, there's that big chunk of damage from the changeover. Alright, well, 4 turns is still within the necessary 5 to keep us on pace here. So, you know, it's passable.
Watch this magic trick.
Step onto the board.
And so we've got the Anaxa team. I love this team because it's fun to blast away with Anaxa, and it's also like one of my lowest investment teams. So I've got, well, we're on Dan Heng here, right? I've got E0S1 Dan Heng, who of course we all got for free. I've got E0S0 Anaxa, so I don't even have his light cone. I've just got, I'm not using Herdas either. I've got E0S1 Cyrene, so I do have her light cone. And then I've got E0S0 Cerydra, so nothing on her either. So what is that, like a 6 cost and one of the characters was free?
Your downfall is absolute. Flowers bloom.
Okay, so as always with Cyrene, you want to prioritize making sure she always has a skill point, which is harder than it sounds. Particularly when you're playing a Anaxa who always wants the skill as well, and he doesn't have any skill points anyway.
We have the edge.
Thankfully, Danny does not take skill points.
Together we can stars shine for the heroes.
Okay, so and I can't skill with Cerydra here either because I only had 1 skill point left. Oh, I forgot that snake thing is in this fight too. He just basically counters a lot. Let's start chipping away at him. Okay, so if you're not familiar with the Cyrene buff for Anaxa, it's basically the main thing is it's an action advance, and it seriously buffs his skill ability. So I'm going to action advance him now, and then I'm also going to use my other ult on Cerydra because that boosts her buff to Anaxa, and then we're going to use everybody's ults,
Walk into the stars.
and that Cerydra ult will get Anaxa to his that'll get him to 6 of her stacks.
Downfall is absolute.
Look, with this divine power, I reforge all things.
Okay, and now we can start blasting.
To the soul, insanity. To the soul, insanity.
That is so much fun.
Divine power, I reforge all things.
Okay, I'm tempted to spend a skill point to shield because we're kind of getting our butt kicked. And Cerydra, or it's not Cerydra, Cyrene does not need to skill anymore. Although she doesn't earn skill points anymore either, so she's skill neutral.
To the soul, insanity.
Okay.
So tiring.
Because these guys do hit pretty hard. Okay, so we're gonna get the Anaxa advance after this, and you gotta watch because you don't want to advance it. He's the next turn, but if he's like 3 or 4 turns away, then I'll advance him.
Don't blink. Maybe enlighten the truth.
Dragons soaring above the land.
There might have been a case there to wait for Cerydra to
Frail scholar.
get 6 stacks, but actually I think it'll count, right? Because his second shot will be at 6. Yeah. And nice. It's always good to have his ult going into the second wave, because then you can get the weakness implants right away. So right off the bat, I've got like all the weaknesses. It's always a little annoying when you don't have it and then you gotta waste a skill where you don't get a double skill. Alright, we can't Cerydra there yet.
Dragons soaring above the lands. This is permanence.
Okay, so here's an example where I'm not going to advance right away. We'll let Hoolay take his turn. Or turns, because Hoolay just takes as many turns as he wants.
With this divine power, I reforge
Use Anaxa's ult so we're not wasting his energy. Alright, so then he's going to get his
to the soul. Insanity.
attacks in. And let's do it again.
Don't blink. No reason. Enlighten the truth.
Something out of nothing. Insanity. To the soul. Look.
Love that single target bounce damage with Anaxa. It's very satisfying. And we got our big damage from
To the defeat. Your downfall.
the cycle change. What's nice with Anaxa and the Memory of Chaos buff is that since he puts all the weaknesses, that means all of your characters attacking are benefiting. So you will easily get your 10 stacks for each change. Okay, it's another one where it's nice. I've got Anaxa's ult ready for the change because you got to implant the weaknesses again.
Forge all things.
And we're just ready to go right away.
Soaring above the lands. This is permanence.
Got nerve.
Okay, so it's going to be another one where we're going to get Cyrene's ult
Defeated. Your downfall.
and not use it.
My purpose is to protect.
Take the answer.
And it is nice with Cyrene that you can go over her max and get a whole second heart, so you don't have to worry about wasting any... Oh, you know what? I messed that up. Nah, you know what? It's not going to matter. I wasn't going to kill him on that cycle anyway.
Don't blink.
I meant to advance Anaxa before the cycle changed,
Enlighten the truth.
but it's not going to matter.
Destruction with me.
Alright, so we are getting a little close here to the end, but I think we'll be in pretty good shape.
Look, with this divine power, I reforge all things.
Ready yourself. Press the attack. Look, we're flying. To the defeated. Your downfall is absolute.
I think we'll be okay.
This is eternity.
My strength isn't what. I'm just a frail scholar. To the soul, insanity. To the soul.
And there you have it. Okay, so that was also 4 turns with a much lower investment team, though. And we still cleared in a comfortable 22, which is not too bad. So that'll do it then for Memory of Chaos 3.7. I hope that was helpful, or at least a little bit enjoyable. But, you know, if you liked it, like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And we'll catch everybody next time. Bye.